Afternoon, friends. I hope y'all have had a blessed Sunday today. I shared a video earlier from AM TV, and throughout the video he was stating that it was his speculation that within possibly 48 hours we could see stores closing across America. Well, I sent that through Messenger to some of my dear friends, and a couple of them thought that I shouldn't share that because the man was only fear-mongering. Well, the main reason I felt it would be okay to send it was because I had just spoke to a college student earlier in the day, and they have schools closed down for a minimum of 3 weeks. Also, this college student told me that Walmart would be closed for 14 days, in which time they would use that to sanitize their store. That's the storyline, that they're going to be closing their stores for 14 days. Well, it'll probably take them 14 days to replenish the shelves. So, anyway, so what this man was saying, Mr. Green, I can't never think of the guy's first name for some reason, but what he was saying sounded a lot like what this college student was telling me that they were told that was going to happen. And she went further to say that any business that has 50 or more employees would be closing to make sure that their establishment is sanitized and cleaned. So, you know, we don't know what's going to happen, but mind you this, don't be surprised if, you know, our fine government, I'm sure they would be truthful and never lie to us. I mean, if they say no stores are going to close, I'm sure no stores are going to close, right? Well, you know, if you step back and look at that, I mean, I know that churches that has more than 50 or 100 people, they're not meeting. I mean, I wonder why they would do that. The NBA has been suspended. The Masters has been suspended. I mean, if you want to do the Masters, all you got to do is get your players out there. You don't have to open that up to the public. Get your guys out there, let them play golf, and then they can announce who won. So let me tell you something. If Italy, a whole country, is shut down, and with what happened to China and these other countries and Iran, don't think for 1 minute that America would not follow suit. And even what I'm trying to tell you now, I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just trying to tell you, don't be naive. At least get some food inside your house that you could eat for a few weeks if in fact they do tell us that we can't leave our home. I tell you what, I'd sure be stocking up on some peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or peanut butter and jelly, and some water. Anyway, guys, I read something else where I forget what it was, but something was going to be shut down until around April the 20th. And I thought, you know, how amazing is it that in this year that there are so many lines pointing to the rapture possibly happening this year, and especially between March and April. And here we find ourselves at the middle of March, and we're looking at a possible, in 2 weeks, they're saying, shutting down for 2 weeks. Well, that takes us right through Passover. You know, I was thinking about this thing early, and I just thought, Lord, you know what's going to happen. Of course, He does. I'll tell you this. If the United Nations declared that Christianity was no longer legal, and anyone found practicing Christianity in the world, they either convert to another religion or be imprisoned. I would say that would be the time that the Father would tell Jesus, it's time to go get my people, because now it's illegal for them to be there. You think of what I just said. To my knowledge, Christianity has never been an illegal religion throughout the whole world. Now, I know in countries where other religions are the main religion, Christians suffer great persecution. But if you have the United Nations all vote, and of course America and Israel probably would not vote, but if you have, except for maybe America and Israel, and maybe one or two, like Australia and Brazil, I don't think they would definitely in no way vote that Christianity is illegal. But if you have like 99% of all countries all over the world say that as of this day, Christians are criminals, If you practice Christianity, you are a lawbreaker of the world, subject to being arrested and given a choice: imprisonment or renounce Christ and choose another religion that the world will accept. I'm telling you, if that happened, oh man. It's kind of like this. If you are a hunter, throughout the year you have what's called duck season, you have deer season, you have like bow season, rifle season, gun, so forth. So throughout the year, you're allowed to shoot certain animals in different parts of the year. Sometimes you can hunt with a gun. Sometimes you have to hunt with a bow and arrow. And even with the deer, they have a limit on how many deer you can kill. So if the United Nations did this, I suppose you could say it would be like stating that it is now Christian season. Christian season. And your bag limit would be limitless. And, you know, I mean, I'm not saying that they would say y'all can go out and kill Christians. You know, they can't do that, because you could go kill your enemy and says, hey, he was a Christian. Yeah, right. With a tattoo of 666 on his arm, you gonna make us believe he was oh yeah, he just got converted. Yeah, okay. No. But there will come a time where not only will it be where Christians are illegal, but they're going to say, you know what? We don't even want you breathing air of our earth. We don't even want you in prisons no more. We don't want to feed you no more. We don't want you eating our food that should be given to someone else. And in the last days, when there's such famine, I can assure you, they will not want these illegal Christians eating food that somebody else could eat. And of course, you know that they are trying to get us, and it will happen, cannibalism. I would not be surprised if these demon-possessed people during the most famine time, I would not put it past the demons to kill the Christians and barbecue us and eat us. Listen, there was a young boy, about 14 or 15, about 4 years ago. He had an open vision of what it would be like during the Great Tribulation. And the mama called a friend over there, and the boy was just sobbing and crying and wailing. And while the man was there trying to comfort him, he was still having these visions like it was happening right now in real time. And he was asking him, what do you see? What do you see? And he was telling him through his sobbing. It was like he was there. And he was there because God was giving him a powerful, I mean, you couldn't cut onions enough to cry as much as this man was. And he was seeing people running through streets, hunting people down, killing them, cutting them with knives and eating them. Eating them. Friend, let me tell you, you may think this is crazy, but I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you. Do you remember the king of Babylon? I think it was King Nebuchadnezzar, if I got it right. And the prophet of God warned him. Well, that was because God knew he was going to do it. But the prophet of God warned him that as long, my cat will jump up here in a minute, but as long as you give God the praise and the glory for raising you up, you'll be okay. But if you ever let pride take over your heart and say that it was you that raised you up like this, that at that moment you will have the heart of a beast. And I think it was for 7 years he would crawl on fours like an animal, and I think he would eat grass and graze like animals, like the cows do. And at the end of the 7 years, God brought his senses back to him. And I mean, his hair was long, his fingernails was long. And he said, it is the great God of heaven that raises kings up and puts kings down. And the heart of a man came back to him. And God restored him. Now let me tell you something. A tiger right now is a flesh-eating beast. Yet in the 1,000-year millennium, the tiger, the lions, will lay down with the lamb. They will graze like cattle. Lions and tigers, they will graze like cows or goats or whatever. It says that a child will put their hand in the hole of the adder, which is a snake, and will not have any harm come to the child. In other words, the wild beast, that flesh-eating desire to kill, God will remove that. So there will not be beast hunting down other beasts and eating them, because God, Jesus Christ, will provide the food. He will meet the needs of the animals. He will meet our needs. And all that I know of that they're mainly required to do is come to Jerusalem during I think it's during the Feast of Tabernacles, and basically come and pay the respects to the great God of Israel. the great God of this world, the king of this world. And I ain't talking about Satan. I'm talking about the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords doing his 1,000-year reign. But before that day happens, don't think for 1 minute that these demons who were in the pigs, these chained demons, don't think for 1 minute when these demons possess people during the great tribulation, don't think for 1 minute that it won't change their heart. Maybe change their DNA. Like Nebuchadnezzar. And God was merciful, and he ate grass to sustain his life. These demons will no doubt turn men into flesh-eating beasts. It is a time you do not want to be in. There is no way, listen to this and I'm going to end this video. There is no way any of us, if any of us would have been told on Christmas Day of 2019 that in less than 3 months, in less than 90 days, the world will be on lockdown. Thousands are dying with a virus. Untold numbers of people are infected with it. That there would be no football, baseball, basketball, golf. Schools would be closed. Stores would sell out of toilet paper. You would say, you are smoking marijuana, or you have got into some serious dope. No, I'm serious. In less than 90 days, you won't be able to find one roll of toilet paper on any store in your town. You'd say, dude, you're smoking marijuana. That won't happen. But it's happening. It's like the day before the Twin Towers. If you would have went to those people at night as they were leaving the Twin Towers to go home, if you would have said, don't come tomorrow because the Twin Towers will fall, somebody would call 911 and have you arrested because you're a lunatic. There ain't no way you could have convinced one person leaving those towers on 9/10 that the following day on 9/11 that the Twin Towers would fall. They wouldn't have believed you. The same way right now, many people, you cannot convince them that the rapture will happen. But you know what? When the rapture happens, they will say, they told me so. They told us for 2,000 years it was going to happen, and we didn't believe it. The same way you wouldn't have believed that the Twin Towers would fall. The same way you would not believe that the toilet paper would be sold out. That we would be under this lockdown throughout most of the world. The same way you will not believe that the rapture is going to happen. But it will happen. And when it does happen, it will be too late. Friend, God bless you. You have a wonderful day.